What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Talks. So, I'm doing a different kind of video today. I'm doing a game review. Yeah, we're changing it up. It's a game, it's called Real Life, the Deprogramming. Let me tell you, it is quite a wild game. I wanted to leave a full, in-depth review for you guys because this is probably the most important game you'll ever play. Yep. Just to be totally clear, this is a real game. It's a fantasy RPG. This is not sarcastic. I'm not being funny at all. This is a real game. It's not a euphemism for anything, okay? Purely just a fantasy RPG game. It's totally a real game. Okay, so anyways, let's get into the review. First, the setting. The game takes place in this massive, hyper-realistic open world. The world in the game is called the West. And when you first boot it up, you start as a default character. You don't really get to choose your stats or your looks. The game just kind of assigns you a role. And for the first, 20 or so in-game years, you're basically just running on autopilot, so to say. You're really just following the main quest line that they give you, which is basically go to school, get a job, consume product, enjoy sports ball, watch the news and believe it, and just generally don't ask any questions. The weirdest part about this early game is that almost every other character you meet is an NPC. And I'm not even joking, the AI in this game is kind of insane. They all have like the same handful of dialogue options. You'll walk up to one and the dialogue prompt comes up and it's just stuff like, wow, the economy is really struggling lately. Or it's another one that I hear a lot. We need to support more diversity and inclusion. And another one I always hear. Did you see the latest Netflix show? And they all say it with this like completely blank expression, like they're not even really there. It's kind of creepy, to be honest. But you try to engage them in actual conversation and you try to ask them why they think that, like when it gives you the speech pattern thing, think of like Fallout or something. And their programming just like short circuits. I don't know if it's like a glitch that I sometimes run into, but they'll either just repeat the line again or they get aggressive and they start calling you names. The devs really went all out on making these NPCs utterly incapable of a real original thought. It's a brilliant, if kind of depressing piece of game design, though. And that's the core gameplay loop for the first act. Just doing what you're told, consuming content, and interacting with these pre-scripted characters. It's designed to make you feel like you're making choices, but you're really not. You're just selecting from a list of options that the devs give you. It feels like one of those old like shooter arcade games you get in the bowling alley, where you just move the gun a little bit and you shoot them, but the path is completely like predetermined. The game moves it for you. That's what it feels like. The graphics are amazing, though. I'll give it that. The whole world looks incredibly real, which makes the NPC behavior a little bit more jarring because it looks so real, But here's where the game gets its name. The deprogramming. After a while, if you're really paying attention, you start to notice glitches. You'll see two NPCs from completely different parts of the map say the same exact phrase, word for word, on the same day. You'll see a major world event happen, and every single NPC immediately gets a dialogue update to have the same opinion about it. There's no like individual processing time. It's like a server-wide patch just gets deployed immediately. That's when you realize there's a deeper layer to this game. You're not just a player. You are a player character surrounded by non-player characters. And that's the moment you get the first real quest prompt. Break your programming. This is when the game starts getting really good. The first thing you gotta do is engage your critical thinking module. It's not even in the main hotbar by default. You kind of have to dig through your character's skill menu to activate it. Then you have to manually go into the settings and upload it. I don't know why the devs made it so hard to get this ability, but they really made it incredibly difficult to even use it. So really, it starts making you a little bit OP. It's like finding a hidden weapon in a secret room, like a Tarkov key room or something like that. So now, once you're at this part of the game and you have this ability now, Whenever an NPC starts saying a line of dialogue or a news ticker scrolls by with a headline, you get to manually activate this new skill you have in the critical thinking. A little interface pops up and it makes you ask, who benefits from me believing this? Completely changes the game, I'm telling you. A headline like, diversity is our strength, suddenly has a publisher tag from a massive corporation that uses slave labor overseas. An NPC talking about open borders has a faction tag showing they're part of the globalist cabal faction, which is kind of OP. I don't really like these guys. They're really strong. They're real sneaky and stuff. But anyways, this one simple skill completely breaks the illusion of the main story quest, like the first quest you get, and it shows you the real game that's happening underneath. It's crazy. The next essential item you need in this quest line is the history book. This is a legendary tier item. It's like in WoW, which, believe it or not, I played that a very long time ago. It's like finding an orange or a gold item. Super, super valuable. It's a rare drop. You're able to get it if you know where to look. But anyways, the devs don't want you to find it. They want to make the game harder on purpose. You know, it's part of the game. It's got a high learning curve. So they've tried to remove it from all of the in-game libraries and like the vendor shops. You basically have to go to these like sketchy, out of the way websites from, you know, vendors that aren't really known well. They call them publishers. They just publish certain kinds of books and stuff. But anyways, it seems like they're kind of sketchy, hidden, black market vendors in like a dark alley. But once you get it, it's like you're reading the original source code for the game. It shows you all of the old lore, the unpatched version of history before the devs started fixing everything to fit the new narrative in the game, right? You know what I mean? It explains why the world is the way it is, and who the major factions really are, and what their long-term goals are for the game world. It's absolutely game-breaking information. You cannot unsee it. But out of that, in this new quest line, you get a new ability. By far is my favorite ability. It's called the Log Off Spell. Its cast time is long and it has a cooldown, but it is the most powerful ability in your arsenal. The spell is basically just shutting down the terminal. You just close the game. You step away from the screen and you go outside and you lift something heavy and you talk to a real person face to face. And you build something with your hands. The spell completely replenishes your sanity and focus meters. It removes the brain fog debuff that the main game constantly tries to apply to you. The NPCs in the system hate when you use the spell. The devs program them to absolutely make them furious whenever you use it. So they'll send you notifications in-game. They'll try to ding your social credit score in-game. They'll try to make you feel like you're missing out on the real part of the game. But it's a lie. It's a lie. The spell is pure freedom. Of course, once you start using these tools and ability in the second main quest, the game's antagonists start to take notice. So remember how I said it's a character surrounded by NPCs? Kind of seems like what you do doesn't really matter until you get to this quest. You're not really just a background character anymore. You're a glitch in the entire system. That's when you encounter a faction called the Glowies. These are high-level NPCs that work directly for the system admins. They'll try to report you for a wrong think. They'll try to get your account banned. They'll show up in your comment sections and your DMs trying to bait you into breaking the terms of service. You can spot them a mile away because they all use the same character models and they have this glow about them. You can't reason with them. Your only option is to ignore them and block them and then never ever take their bait. So, yeah, the final part of the game, though, the true endgame content, is using the party finder part of the game. It's actually in game. It's known as the based party finder. This is how you find other player characters. It's where you unlock the other player characters part. The ones you find have also broken the programming. So you form a guild with them. It's a group of people who see the game for what it really is, and you share resources and you strategize and you protect each other from the glowies and the angry NPC hordes that the devs put in there to attack you, and not the devs. The game doesn't want you to do this. It wants you isolated and alone because a single player is really easy to manage. But a guild of awakened players is more of a problem for them. And that's how you actually start to change the game world. So that's about it for that review. Final verdict on Real Life, the deprogramming. It's a masterpiece. The initial grind, super boring, like I said. It's kind of frustrating, dealing with all the bots. It's just designed to make you quit. But if you push through, if you seek out the hidden mechanics and the tools, you'll find a deeper, more rewarding game than you ever thought possible. The graphics, photorealistic. Story is... It's kind of like a mind-bending conspiracy thriller. And the multiplayer aspect of finding your guild is super fulfilling. It's probably one of the most fulfilling experiences in any game ever. So if you play COD or Fortnite, might not be the game for you. Nothing against those games. It's just not really a casual gamer kind of game. It's hard, high learning curve. It's also kind of punishing. The main devs kind of hate you for playing it properly, it seems like. But it's the only game that actually matters. Achievements aren't given for following the main quest line. You actually get achievements for breaking it. So, the final achievement, Singularity, which you get for fully seizing control of your own consciousness, is worth every second of the struggle. So, yeah, if I had to rate it, 10 out of 10. Would highly recommend installing this one. Try to get it on the Steam sale, though. It's not worth paying full price. Just make sure you activate the critical thinking skill. This is how you're going to unlock the second main quest. The devs don't really tell you that part. They try to make it difficult on purpose. So just a heads up before you install the game. So, all right, guys, that's really going to do it for this review today. Smash the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Rumble if you enjoyed this kind of game review. And I'll see you all in the next one. God bless America first. And always, Jimmy Talks out.